Does any... Well, yeah, okay, well, we're into the game now. You don't have to listen to the frogs anymore. We'll get this one started.
Did you ever collect frog spawn?
No.
No?
Oh, tadpoles?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, come on now.
Yeah, it took a while.
Pre-tadpole.
I don't think so.
Now, let's see what Extra Salt have decided to throw at Astralis. They're going to be looking to see what sticks. Been very impressed with their pickup of Fang. 18 years of age and already managing to play and have huge highlights. No silencer on Magisk pistol, so at least a little bit of a discombobulation. And it's come together beautifully as the last tap comes in. Glaive pieces it together, and Astralis start off with a bang. Just a top site exec then, a little smattering of util and throwing their bodies through hut.
You know what? I know this is... what I'm about to do is like comparing apples and oranges in a very big way. But
Sure.
what happened last time somebody left Astralis? Like somebody chose to actively leave Astralis.
Well, didn't they just end up getting Magisk Boy and becoming the best team to ever touch the game?
Yeah. Well, now they've lost Device, who arguably is the greatest to ever do it when you look at his achievements.
Well, he's got like the most MVP trophies, and Kirby won the MVP of the major before departing.
Okay, maybe
losing an MVP
Imagine
is the stimulus they need.
Imagine if Bubsky comes in
and
wins the MVP at the next major. Can you imagine that story out?
I feel like Astralis just they're filling up pages and pages now. So it's
yeah. Well, I'm ready for a new book, but maybe they aren't. So we've got these secret smokes out. We're going to see Extra Salt getting their way on down. Dupree with a nice shot there. Sonic will fall.
Wow, Zipex couldn't have any more information, and bloodshed come his way. He does get 2 of the 3 required. Fang's space not going to be able to deny the plant necessarily if they could retrieve it. Marky and Fang, the 2 new additions. Only Fang. And that is the conversion they were looking for. They'll get some sidearm upgrades, but only losing 1. It is the dream start for Astralis and their adventures. But as we talked about on the death chat, and I'd love for you to keep my finger on the pulse as much as you can, as well as, of course, the viewers, as to how their CT setups and, of course, once we get into that second half, are adjusted in the absence of a prominent AWP presence.
Yes. So I think a note there is Zipex was the first rotator down once they got towards from ramp, right? So I agree in the seniority, and, you know, Zipex as being a passive ramp holder, nothing wrong with that. He's back over there and around like this. Glaive is towards yard, comboed up with Dupree towards main. He's on that scout.
I mean, Bubsky was also such an exciting prospect in the Mad Lions era, as he did kind of, you know, once again get snatched up. I would love to see him kind of start putting ink to paper for his own second chapter. Now, Magisk has fallen into ramp to return fire, and it's a dream spray. 3 with Zipex there, who was very low, might I add, and the very reason Magisk rotated in as and when he did. Sonic being pushed, playing around the smoke, and he's well aware that there's a hunt coming in, and that was the element of surprise he needed. Manages to grab himself 1 of the 4, and even worming his way out of the ramp fight, so he'll be happy with that. Knows Zipex caught a dink early, so he might just want to try and push the issue there and land a stray bullet with his dynamic MP9 or Tech 9.
Yeah, this one here, any more damage that Sonic can do is great. You know, the fact that they've grabbed 2 kills in this one already, still plenty of time to look for 1 more. HP the biggest issue, but the dink was there. Dupree cops that one, finishes him off, and there you can see the body's just strung on out. Great spam from Magus there to lock on down the ramp room. So we move into round number 4. The guns will come out, so that's Extra Salt buying in with those AK-47s. Now, OC is the man that, you know, I'll be turning my attention to. In North America, he was absolutely owning, but I think he's got the shock when he's come to Europe that people actually flash AWPers off the line. I mean, more proficient with the utility.
I imagine there was a really, really crucial, completely necessary part of his European trip where he was riding that high of taking fights, and then there are bad habits that need to be punished. And I imagine some of his time here has been spent, you know, correcting those bad habits. It's the awkward one when you are an import. Now he's lining up the molly.
This is what we want to look for, is the executes of Extra Salt. JT is a massive utility nerd, and they're into top.
Yeah, but are they? The molly is perfect. Completely keeps them at bay. He's even considering a wallbang, a resmoke for Squeak. And they're going for a top pop. Magisk is contesting nicely. Alongside for the ride is Glaive, and it's perfect. Only 1 remains and toppled before they even get going.
Okay.
Astralis. Dude, the way they contested that was so naughty. The door was open, they do a deeper smoke, Magisk pushes in on that, and all of the power you have of a double-pronged assault denied.
Yeah, that was great stuff there. And I think, obviously, Astralis are here with something to prove today.
God, yeah, look at that. They're all channeled. As Magisk is getting that frag, they're channeled into this two-man setup. They had Glaive and Bubsky both established on the low site, ready to receive. Magisk just mops up what was left. Great start. Extra Salt yet to make an impact. Wall of smokes. Glaive forced to the yard position. It is all a little fruity in the absence of device.
He did make a tweet, Glaive, saying that he wasn't going to be AWPing. It would just be funny for him just to AWP. I think Glaive, by virtue of just being the best team in the world for a while, had to become one of my favorite heals in Counter-Strike, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
So now if he's just like trolling people and getting away with it, sure, I'm with it. But hold up. Speaking of AWPs, Dupree in the lower site with a big green. They're going to be so hard to predict, Astralis.
Yeah, it's just going to be one of the teams that everyone had a good read on, transitioning into being the one that no one has a read upon. They are going to start pivoting Decon in the presence of that AWP. It makes sense. It's the only avenue that does potentially hold weight and water. Dupree, however, tucks into dark, completely concedes radio control.
Lots of moving parts here. You can see and hear these rotations. So very noisy business. Dupree in an awkward spot for the AWP.
Yeah, he's got the sound cues at the doors. Knows when he'll have to address them. Nice find, but Zipex should have done enough. Marky falling down now to the Glaive rotation. Sonic dreaming of a plan. Dreaming of one. And Glaive denies it with a lovely headshot as well.
Still has the scout. He's not even going to get himself a rifle upgrade. Still going to be rocking that one going into what will be round number 6.
Zipex has got the big green out.
I think he picked that one up of Dupree's body there. So I think he'll be dropping that one back across. He has done, and it has been a technical pause just called here out of the Astralis camp. They're already ready to go. You can see quick as you like, and I will let you know that that scout that I was getting so excited about, Glaive don't want it. He's throwing that one over the fence at spawn. About to get this one back underway. Now, what's the change-up going to be from Extra Salt here? Because it's not like they've had many rounds to even sink their teeth into so far. Only the second gun round here.
I do like the stance you've taken, though, and it's one that I'm sure I'll return to as we watch this play out, that Astralis have something to prove again.
Oh, for sure.
This is a team that for the longest time haven't had anything to prove. You know, if anything, they were just having to meet the impossible expectations of their legacy. Now it's like, well, people are expecting us to fail, and they used to relish in that. They used to relish in people not expecting them to be able to stay at the top. Now, perhaps that doubt will drive them further forward. It's up against Extra Salt, who have been having their fair share of scalps here on European soil. JT, though, oh, saved by the bell, saved by the Marquee headshot. They'll get across now. The smoke's deployed, enables full passage to Secret. The rotates will be forced and already at a man disadvantage. This is shaping up to be a potential first round. I say that, though. JT and Sonic already well under 50. And Dupree's holding this line. OC should be a dead man.
Oh, he's lost
Didn't
it now.
spot him, yeah. Nice. This is a real chance now. Missed shot from Dupree as well. Zipex is going to be hyper aware of this. Being pushed on. Oh dear, OC, sound cues galore. They know they've lost track of him. Zipex is already extended into a 4v4.
Only 35 seconds to this. Running out of time here, Extra Salt.
Yeah, it's just going to have to be a top pincer, isn't it? And Dupree seems so very ready to pull the trigger. They do bait him in. And 2 across. This is it. This is the next frag. The next frag determines it all. And it's Magisk pushing to Hut. JT has not enough in the tank, and that's another for Astralis. They remain spotless on this defense. Best of 1, need I remind you?
Jeez, this is going very, very quick. We do have a bit of a B-stream update that we can bring everybody at home. Here it is on the screen, 15-13. Currently in favor of VP. Just one more round that they need. It's a 2v2 situation. The bomb is down, and oh, dearie me, it's Cold Zero to try and hold on for FaZe. They are boot camping right now in Serbia, I believe, and obviously you guys have all heard about the Carrigan edition in recent times. But remember, this is the best of 1. They still have a life in this one if they do fall here. It doesn't look good for Cold, Alex. I'm just going to put it like that.
Yeah, well, we've got a timeout in our game, so you're not missing any of the action as we watch Cold try and clutch up for another chance from FaZe Clan. Unfortunately, the bomb's on the other side. Yeah. No kit. Poor soul. All right, and that's the least fun way to lose an entire map.
Especially when they clawed it back, right? It was looking like VP were going to run away with this one very, very easy. They close it in, 16-13, easy as you like. So we're going to get into the best of 3s for both of those teams going forward in the tournament. It'll be VP versus Na'Vi. and then obviously Mouse Sports will be taking on the likes of FaZe. So we always have that Carrigan Mouse Sports storyline there, and Mouse Sports have been looking better with all the counter. That's a fun one to sink your teeth into later.
Especially considering, yeah, Carrigan was like, I think Mouse were stringing together a large amount of wins just as he was departing, as it was announced they were losing him. So very interesting to see how that battle wages on in a full best-of-3 environment. Only the opening games will be in this best-of-1, so do not fret.
Okay, well, it looks like Extra Salt are going back towards the top hit again. It didn't work last time.
Is Magisk on top again? This has been the perfect counter to their util exec top. They just had Bubsky previously, now Magisk playing up above, elevated position, and it's perfect fight on that Z-axis for anyone coming out hurt. Don't drop off whatever you do. Okay, he has fallen into the flames. They're testing ramp, and Zipex, nice. Good for the first headshot, and now completely evaporates. He does not need to contest, but they're very fast and hot on his heels. Another headshot presents itself. Can't convert. It's Bubsky and Dupree that can, though, and Marquis doing anything alongside OC. They managed to get themselves into a 2v2. Just by the skin of their teeth, and the trade from OC. Magisk spotted on the cross decon. Marquis is a sitting duck for that nade. Oh, it's perfect. Magisk, you beast. He gets them both.
Real problems now for Extra Soul. It's not necessarily the scoreline that I'm worried about. It's the lack of frags from the likes of OC and Fang so far. Only 1 kill apiece. You got JT and Sonic there with 2 each, and then just Marky. He's leading the charge with 7.
You just feel shut out, don't you?
Yeah, if you take a look at the rounds recaps in terms of players left alive, that is the closest round that we have had from Extra Soul so far, with only 2 Astralis players left standing. Before that, we're looking at 3 players alive,
Damn.
4 players alive, that kind of region. So they're getting closer, but now they'll have to be back down to these pistols once more. There's lots of smokes straight across the secret. Dupree, AWP, tucks on in.
So you know how Device became Devet at times when he was really popping off?
Yep.
Maybe Dupree does become Dupe when the AWP's in his hands. We'll have to keep our eyes on that, keep our finger to the Dupe pulse.
It's just going to be curious to see how they tackle this going forward, right?
Bang.
Let's see how many he can get. Give us another one, Dupree. There we go. Easy as you like. Now, for those not too familiar with Dupree, there was an event where he actually had to do the AWPing. I think Device was sitting this out. This is many years ago now, but it was on Mirage. I think it was a Blast event. It was the best of ones that they were doing back there. And he had a bit of a field day because there's a big difference between being a primary AWPer and being a secondary AWPer. If you're a secondary AWPer, you have a lot more freedom, right? People aren't studying you, your flight paths, where you move it. Whereas Device, right? One of the biggest things with a player like Device is his positioning, how he rotates around the map, how he helps his teammates, or if they die, how he can clean up their mess. Dupree's going to be more of like a in-your-face type AWPer.
And jumping on that Device point, it's a perfect pedestal that we can then use to embody why people are ringing the alarm bells upon his departure.
Sure.
Because of his positioning, because of the amount he provided to his team as a one-man presence on the server in terms of information, fragging, as well as his positioning and rotations.
Yeah, and I think if we continue down the point of what we're saying to prove, is the sense that for Magus, his games have been a bit up and down. For Bubsky, he was fighting to get that server time, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot for these guys who have previously been struggling a little bit now to ignite that fire within them. Because if there were any questions before, right, maybe, Glave's worried about he's going to be a dad soon, and, Zipex, he's been doing it for a long time, maybe he's on his way out the door. All those question marks is now, oh, he left us? Let's show him what he left, right?
Sure.
And here, Extra Salt is the perfect way for Astralis to come on in, right, get, I don't want to say an easy game, but out of all the opponents you could have here, Extra Salt would probably be towards the top of the list with the likes of Pain, etc.
Imagine new Astralis versus new Nip. It's Stockholm, and Device is not wearing an Astralis jersey.
Oh, they're just getting mauled, Alex.
Yeah, this one's an absolute open and shut case. We're at 1 minute 35 as Extra Salt find their first in now a 2 versus 4.
It's not looking good by any means.
It's just so suffocating, and I can empathize. I can put myself into the shoes of Extra Salt, where it just feels like every round starts off at a disadvantage. You never get to initiate your game plan that came out of the mouth of your leader. It's always going to have to be something reactive to this hyperactive Astralis CT side, and here's a perfect example of the hyperactivity. Magisk wants lobby info, and it may cost him his life. Yeah, punished for his ignorance and his very laissez-faire approach. He's actually now being joined by the entire CT squad. They're pushing lobby. They're going round the world. OC could be behind them both here. One, not the second. Close, but no cigar. Astralis punished for their aggressions in the first round's found.
Oh, there's the round. Now we need to see if those floodgates are going to open here. There's lots of money for Astralis to bounce back with a buy, but maybe overcooking the pooch, I think that's the term I've been using for that one. The aggression punished, and with it, the round. So Good to see Sonic still giving her a crack of the whip here. This is the second one in the back of the head for Magus. Not ready for that whatsoever. A bunch of the kills there. Players not even looking the right way, so good round from the Saltinis. They're throwing the yard smokes, but they really want to try and punish Ramp here. You can see them all in lobby, grouped on up. Once that smoke fades, they could set up for the corner pick on Ramp, where they go for the boost for the AWP, which is now in the hands of OC. Fang jumps across, tries to bait the shot. OC can establish his line of sight. And Zipex needs to be very careful about how he transitions across these positions. Does not really have a huge support network here. More nades to soften and delay. Smoke towards Squeaky. That'll deny another advance from Extra Salt, who now have to sit and wait for another 20 seconds. But no yard presence, right? They have 0 yard presence. They didn't cross anybody to secret. They don't have anybody trying to flank around ladder. And Astralis have not dropped a single player in towards that lower bomb site.
Why would you? Nothing to fear. Vents is held. Ramp is held. There is absolutely no fear. And Astralis are operating under the assumption that no one's gone contact silent, unchecked all the way across. And they're right to do so. This setup for the top pop is perfect. Bubsky's got hut. But now they've lost Glaive. This could be it. Bubsky needs a double and provides it alongside with Magis. JT's the one to double up. Now they have a man advantage. Even more so, dupreeh thrust into a 1v3. He's already managed to equalize the odds somewhat. Needs more, 20 seconds. Bombs on OC's back. dupreeh to contest this. He'd have to be vulnerable on the drop down! JT's missed his shot. That God Fang is there. That nearly completely slipped away from them. JT was a little red-faced, a little hot under the collar, happy to be providing 2 on the way in, though. His double with the Galil gave them that advantage that they do manage to convert. That's 2 for Extra Salt. An immediate response is a timeout from the Danes. Yeah, and big reason to do so right now, because Whittled Away is that catch situation for Astralis. These are the frags from JT. Always good with a flashbang, old JT, but looking better on the Galil in this round right here. The money situation for Astralis is the reason they have taken a timeout. Glaive has 5.2. You had dupreeh there. He had about, I think it was just under that 5K mark. And it looks like they will be purchasing on in here. Okay. So they're going to make this buy work. It's definitely not going to be as strong. You won't have all your Molotovs. The AWP won't be in play. Even in question right now, maybe a defuse kit. Zipex is yet to buy. He's going to go with a scout. So this is quite the mix-up. We've got UMP for Magus, 3 M4s for dupreeh, Glaive, and Bubsky. He's not taking the scout ramp, is he? Maybe he wants a bit of a biff, because OC looked like he was more than happy to establish some fights over towards that section of the map here. But this is Extra Salt's chance. If they win this round right now, Astralis will be humbled. They'll be forced down to what should be just light pistol upgrade. Can start working on a bit of a T-side for Extra Salt. Squeaky blown on off. Sonic having a little look on now. Speculative jiggles here, there, and everywhere as the CT smoke will be baited, and they're lining up their Molotovs for this top hit again. And as you pointed out, Bubsky, he now resides on top of the silos, on top of the site, ready to avoid any of this utility damage. And it's such a luxury by having someone main and hut. You're so comfortable, you're so safe, no worries of the crazy main fight that you're vulnerable for. This is a good setup from Astralis. How does Extra Salt interact with it? The mollies will fly in. That will be the cue. Flames to come with it, but they've lost Sonic before any of that. Just as the utils dropped, and now they look to drop down vents. They have managed to get the bomb down there. Marky could love and would love a plant here. Fang leading the way. Straight in. Marky to plant safe. Fang to seize as much space as he can. JT was desperate to join the pack, but he's lost his life in the process. This is a perfect position from OC. And oh, there's more. There's more. dupreeh, a perfect rotation. He manages to open up the secret avenue for the rotate down. 2v4, no fun for anyone on this Extra Salt squad. He'd need a very, very snazzy double here, or even a triple. Magisk is the first victim, needs a second quickly, and Marky provides. You're right. That no kit's going to cost him. Zipex no with a scout. Couldn't do anything, and dupreeh's on the way out. There you have it, 2v4 from the 2 new additions. Marky and Fang put a third on the board. Sharp shooting there as well, just lopping off a couple of heads and securing an important round. That saved them 4 from dupreeh. How long is he going to get to hold on to it? Marky doesn't want to risk his life, and there is a chance. There is a real chance for Extra Salt to establish a couple more here. That was a full investment from Astralis, and it looked good. It looked good until Marky happened. Great catch. Isolates his first duel onto Magisk, a little ahead of the pack. Oof. And that was the crucial headshot. Yeah, copped a dink in the fray there as well. So, yeah, good stuff. And, well, now, as I mentioned, it will just be Astralis onto these light pistol upgrades.
Couple of deagles, well, a couple of P250s, just the one deagle. Zipex honest on the USP.
I'll learn how to stop my Casio from beeping every hour, but for tomorrow, everyone, I'm sorry about that.
But at least you guys know it's on the hour.
Every hour. Casio. JT, however, hello.
That was the M4. That's already been dropped right now, so the biggest gun out of the picture. That's actually a huge find. I think a lot of the pressure, a lot of pressure just from that one kill has been alleviated. A big part of this is, hey, let's find the saved M4. Well, that's on the floor.
Oh, perfect chance. Nothing to report. P250, close quarters. Satisfying. Silent dismount, but silence is broken as Zipex actually does manage to find a frag and the bomb. Just a USP, no less, and a very loud hunt as the bomb's picked up. Marky, careful now. Thank you.
Yeah, this one should just peter on out now. It's just Bubsky left. The dink's good. The pickup of the AK would have been better, but OC there with the trade. 8-4.
This is getting good. This is getting competitive. I mean, the Astralis wall has officially been broken. That's 4 in a row. And Chad, this all started with that little bit overzealous lobby crunch.
Taken one too many fights there for Astralis has led them down a whole of 4 rounds. So they're going to want to bounce back before we get towards the tail end of this half. Look, we're not going to bother talking about the team that was, once the best on Inferno and Nuke. That is ancient history at this point.
Crazy to say. Truth.
Get the smokes out towards Yard. Glaive doing his best to unravel JT, who's the only man making this
is a good
arduous
call.
Cross.
We know that Astralis have struggled in that low site, especially considering that 2v4 we just witnessed. So just by having someone slip the net, JT's going to get a lot of paranoia, potential rotates. He's deploying his util, he's keeping them honest. Someone's going to have to respond. Nice catch, just as he's fallen off. Bubsky does go down. Magic's vulnerable, but does well to find a second on the same mag. And with backs turned, Zipex can punish. Solid top site hold, a 1v3 presented to JT.
I'm very impressed with how Astralis handled that one right there. One of the things that Extra Soul, especially like if you consider these guys in previous teams, is just their utility usage, their executes, their creativity with some of that. And you see it coming out here, right? That Molotov is actually dropped by one of the CTs, trying to float on off the top of the bomb box there. But it was just perfect timing. The multi-kill from Magus. Zipex gets there in time to clean up the other 2. They have to draw their attention. And now Extra Salt, well, they've bought, it's a Galil and a Tech 9, 3 AKs around it, light util. Glaive wants to fight this. He's going to be in front of the smoke wall.
Fancies a biff. He's going to throw his wall one way if you're not careful as well. What's his cue? If they throw the molly, he'll immediately one way and jump up on that. He'll be able to take OC and Marky down if they're not careful. Let's hope they've done their homework. This is a Glaive special. 2 years in the making. He's been whipping this one out.
No one's watching Yard right now, so Glaive is very brave in the way that he's doing this. I think Dupree just took a look from top heaven, so here comes the smoke wall now. Glaive's dropped his. That negates their smoke wall completely. They're going to have to play in front of it.
You're right. It channels them into Dupree, who has, once again, reacted to house this. Magic's got so many options. Oh, the timing, he does so well. Manages to find Marky on main. There's more up there in the rafters, even trades. They're not checking. Dupree close quarters on the AWP, and there they go. Astralis, their top site hold is so rigid.
Yeah, the flexible players right now are Glaive and Dupree, right? Magus and that of Bubsky are very static over towards that top side. They've been locking it down. Multi-kills is what they're assigned to do. And then Zipex over towards ramp. He just has to play off whatever's thrown his direction. So everything seems to be going swimmingly right now for Astralis, other than that blotch of 4.
Like they often get the 1. They often get that first, but then immediately it's either Magisk or Bubsky. They'll take contact like at the same time, and you can't seem to house one of them. Here comes Marky, fast down the vents and successful. Up against Astralis, this previously gave them a round. He doesn't have the bomb this time, though. They're going ramp. They want to knock Dupree down a peg. A high flash and a retreat. It's not going to slow them. Dupree's down, ready and waiting. That's a big find. Hello, hell. Could open up an option to the top site.
That is very, very open right now. This would be the pivot. You look at the rotation for Astralis. It's Bubsky to deal with this, and he is out of position. We'll have to mantle up and over. Glaive now trying to deal with the lost space as well. And if Extra Salt just want to hit the brakes right now with a minute 15 on the clock, they can. Corralled with JT's call back towards the lobby. OC has himself that AUG. They have a molly. If they come out squeaky, smoke main, molly CT vent, that is going to allow you to focus top hut, bomb boxes, rafters. That's one avenue they can go for. And if they hit too much, let's say, of a wall, they can drop down the vent. So there's still a chance here for Extra Soul, even though they are operating with much weaker buy. You can see how much respect is being given.
Bubsky's position is perfect to summarize Astralis' mental state. And that's the frag they needed. OC has provided. And now the smoke, now the molly, now the go. It's only Bubsky. Can't put the bullets between the two of them. Simply opens up the site and enables a potential fifth here. Extra Salt, a two-man advantage as they come up secret. Astralis, Dupree, and Magisk up against the world.
Smoke for Squeaky here for Dupree. That's one position you want to isolate, and then these flashes have to be perfect.
Fang's got vision. Fang's got first contact.
Oh, gap and smoke too.
Exactly the right timing, and yeah, Dupree's there for the trade, but I'm afraid it's just too much. Extra Assault, they're probably not going to be complaining. They've pulled it off with just the pistols and an AUG on OC. 3 frags from him. He's been kept honest on this T-side nuke, but the CT side is about to commence, and he'll start his magic after the break, because it's a 10-5 half. Astralis, Extra Soul, duking it out, and it continues here at DreamHack Masters Spring in just a moment.
I'm Sonic, I'm from Extra Salt, and we're here to spread some salt in the wounds.
2020 was a trying year for North American Counter-Strike fans, and 2021 looks to be more of the same. With players leaving for pastures new, the scene has been thinning quite a bit. Hell, even Cloud9 went European for a bit with a little bit of American flair.
I do believe we are very strong contenders on being the best team in North America right now.
Exodus, however, breeds opportunity, and the faithful amongst you shall be rewarded. While some saw NACS as dying, others saw their chance to represent the region. It turns out, to save NACS, all you need is a little NACI.
Me and Johnny have been playing together for a really long time. We're kind of like glue, or he's the Pepsi, I'm the Coke.
Perhaps the most exciting part of Extra Salt is that they represent the 3 biggest countries in North America, with 1 Canadian, 1 American, and the seldom seen Mexican. While we've seen American and Canadian players be up there with the best, Mexico is a country of pure untapped potential.
Marky is the Mexican god.
NA's finest came to Europe on an absolute tear. Extra Salt were unquestionably the best team in North America, not finishing below 3rd in any event, and dunking on Pain 3-0 in the DreamHack Open March final.
And the second as well!
Sonic and the gang are here to prove that NACS is alive and go back to North America with experience, and maybe even a trophy to go with it.
I think the only thing I can say to the opponents is respect us. Other teams have failed to do so in the past.
To 5 as we prepare and return to Nuke. It's our 3rd best of 1 of the day. The establishing matches will be thrusting many teams into that lower bracket straight out of the gate. It's going to be a very punishing fate for big names already. We've seen a couple fall.
Next time we come back from the break and we have that wind noise on Nuke going through, can we do because I had like a Wild Wild West kind of vibe. I know Nuke's not really.
We can have a showdown on Nuke. It would be kind of a cool cowboy bebop aesthetic.
Need a few revolvers in the mix though. I think the 1xBet on the top of your screen there, oh dearie me. I think the game may end up closer than that if Extra Salt can pull them A pistol off here on the CT side. JT 2 flashes and a defuse kit. This slow, crawling pace and this passive angle being held from JT. He is going to need to hit some absolute bangers from this range.
Yeah, valiant attempt. Powerful spot on top of that red box, but already 3 have slipped the net straight down. Let's see what the rotation's like from the CTs. Down the vents already, and Sonic gets info, gets more than he bargained for in response, but immediately...
That's all they wanted.
They try and force the rotate. They're trying to catch him out here. They're playing...
Hello, OC.
To exploit, and there is a horrible death for OC. He is the victim. Nice catch, Marky. Learn a bit more about him during the break, and Fang with some good shots.
Needs
if
another.
only he could find one more. Tucked in, they're playing from lobby, they're contesting this nicely. If they can delay that plant, another frag would be great, but now the bomb down.
JT's got the flashes still.
You can hear them. Magis can really play spoiler here. He has got no Kevlar. They're all opting for that squeaky area. Sonic trying to jump peek. He hasn't synchronized with the Dupree's exposed body yet. Magis got on the flank though. It's going to be down to this. 1, 2 heads are required. Only the one found. Fang's got enough done. Dupree doesn't have the time, and there's a lovely first round. Out of the gates, out of the break. Extra Salt take the CT pistol.
Yeah, beautiful stuff, and they definitely need that one right there if they want to be competitive in a map like this. You saw that streak, that flow out the doors coming from Astralis, where they had 8 on the trot. We had Extra Salt bounce back with 4 of their own, and then the back and forth nature to close out the half. But I'm impressed with Marky, right? Like, I think for the longest period of time, you look at a lot of these guys, you have the Liquids, you have the EGs/NRGs, you've obviously got the Brazilians, you had 100 Thieves, you had all these different names who were in North America competing in the North American slots and spots who weren't necessarily North Americans. Now, these guys have the lion's share of their players there. Extra Salt, you just had Sonic in that video saying they could be the best team in North America. Now, I'm sure Liquid will have a thing or two to say about that.
I'm sure they would.
But I think that the level of prep and strat that we see out of Extra Salt, it's pretty damn good.
Well, and in terms of the comparison as well, it's funny you bring up Liquid. I'd consider Marquee to be another one of a similar storyline. This is going to be a heavily tagged up Magisk. He does get across, but a comparison between Marquee and Stewie in terms of just he was always around the big names in his region. He was playing with them, competing with them in more pickup environments.
Huge shot.
And now with Dupree's equalizing frag and a bomb plant already, these
so
rifles.
They're so split.
Oh, Lord.
There's 2 players yard still right now for Astralis. They could come in main to vent.
And they will. Bubsky does go down immediately. Zipex is going to be on notice. Dupree going to try and support. They want to contest. They know there's at least 2 coming this way, and Zipex is going to soften them up. He may do it all. Magic is immediately there for the trade. Awkward. Very awkward. No kit either for OC and Fang, and they're fully committed. Time-sensitive mission, not the 10-second defuse. Fang needed that. One of them needs to get on it now.
Is there time?
And just defend it. Just defend it, and they've done it, and that is a huge win. Win?
I think it's all right. It's going to be very close, but just.
Okay.
Yeah, I was more in your camp, right? I was definitely in that camp, and then I went, nah, they got it. They're not going to be sticking around if they knew that bomb was going to blow on up.
No one's going to be letting go of that defuse key as his teammate OC's desperately holding on.
Hey, guys, are we sure?
Fang, bro. Fang found the must-win frag and the 10-second defuse. They saved their hides. That would have been a colossal loss of momentum for Extra Salt, and instead, they can actually just take their foot off the gas for a second. They're not going to be up against the full AKs. Tactical timeout is called, though.
Yeah, get to have a bit of a breather, and you guys get to have a bit of a B-Stream update. So this is the 3rd best of 3 over there for the day of the B-Stream. You've got Team Vitality with their new boy, Kyojin. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm not huge on the anime maze. Versus Complexity, who have also been playing a lot of Counter-Strike lately. So this will be an interesting one. This is the debut of the new Vitality roster. So if you want to check what they look like after RPK, this is your first chance. ESL_CSGO B.
Yeah, not forgetting as well, you get to take a little look at... oh, I had a point.
Sorry.
My fault.
I rumbled on for a little bit longer there.
Yeah, my brain just decided to start thinking about the fact that we've got a casting to do.
Well, they force bought again, Astralis, so we can kind of get back on in that way. Look, it's maybe not a force buy. Maybe just the AK for Dupree and a couple of light pistols. Let's see what Dupree can do here. Has a duel with JT lined up.
Config's been having a really good few months. Thank you, Brain. We got there.
Dupree's just done a massive entry like Config would do. So it's all come full circle here as JT's dead at ramp. Lower is...
No, not again.
It's open for business. Fang is going to have a hard time defending with the Famas from here.
Yeah, he's still paranoid about Secret as well. They might even swing the doors open behind him. This is a lot of space lost. Zipex baits the shot, even converts it. Marky really does have to save the day now for Extra Salt. And he's not going to
no.
get a second look in. Great double peek. You can see Bubsky was there to soften him up from the elevated spot.
Should be a save.
So it seems Extra Salt are going to immediately have to rehash their rotations a little bit.
Yeah, because it's this round and the pistol round and where they got beaten in the rotations, right? I know that they ended up winning that pistol round, but OC got a rude shock. And to be fair, Astralis sold that very well. They had 3 players on that pistol go down secret and then pivot back up. Of course, you're going to be hightailing on the rotations. But right here, as soon as JT died, there was no presence on Yard. Otherwise, what's Fang thinking about? And then he is caught in a position where unless he gets that kill, that first kill into Zipex, he's not getting anything done. So that's Astralis. You know, just with that AK for Dupree, he makes it work exactly like it was designed. This was it. Dupree, you have the big gun.
Bang.
Go find us a headshot. They get the avenue towards ramp. Snowball into the site. And that Zipex kill onto Fang, well, that basically sealed the deal right there. Will be a timeout now from Extra Salt. They need to talk through their options.
Astralis looking really rigid, though. Dupree gets the AK opening frag. The rest is just a formality. They just know what they've got to take. And also seem to be responding very quickly to the whim and will of Glaive. So CT timeout, taking their 30 seconds hiatus.
It's pretty good to see the void being filled. Obviously, there's going to be a lot more tests, as we're aware, for this Astralis roster, right? This is the first time that we're seeing them in an official capacity since Devices departed. So there's going to be teething issues. A lot of people probably questioning where is the fragging going to come from. I think Magus definitely is a superstar. He's got 19 kills in this one. If he can get back to his old form, then they can definitely display some of the issues that we are talking about.
Taking stock of Extra Salt's trip to Europe so far, though, they've lost to teams such as Spirit, Big Clan, EPG Family, and Sinners very, very recently, but also victories against Dignitas, Fours, Linkby Vikings, Big Clan, in a best of 3, losing out in that best of 5 with a crazy final map. Really a series worth checking out. If you're looking to elaborate upon your Extra Salt fandom, do check out that brutal best of 5.
Oh, someone's already responded to this lower. It's JT tucked on in.
Blind as a bat. Oh, didn't get away. Dupree has got a beeline straight for him. Does tame the spray and initiate what looks like another lost B site. Fang does very well to survive that. Got to play for the retake at this point if they wanted to. Look at that. They've already got Bubsky still in trophy. They always have this little curveball ready to ensure that that rotate is going to be no fun. Oh, not even the save is going to be fun at that point.
It looked like they were already trying to save their Extra Salt. So another find right there from Bubsky is huge. Zipex is on the hunt. He spots OC towards spawn. So the high alert is out now. If you're Astralis, you might want to get a hunt on, might want to get a move on and see if you can take away a rifle or 2.
But they are bullying them, aren't they?
Yeah, it looked like they got a lot of space way too easy there, didn't it? I know it was a force buy of Extra Salt, but that's still...
But just by virtue of the fact that they just keep hitting this lower site, like if you're a CT side on Nuke, one thing that's really going to get under your skin is if the fundamental that, hey, let's make sure we get our rotates right, boys, throughout this CT side. Every time you're kind of being slapped in the face with, well, you didn't. Yeah,
the gaps are very, very big right now. Need to close those up as scoreline the same, 12-7. The saved rifles mean probably an eco from Extra Salt. I know what we were talking about earlier in terms of wanting to invest, but they need to make sure they can have buys going forward, and that is going to be their final timeout here in the best of 1. There will be no more options to call a pause, to wait 30 seconds to talk things through. This is going to get very, very rough.
Certainly is, and they really do want to stay in that upper bracket as long as they can. Don't forget, that B-Stream game we just gave you an update on, Complexity, Vitality.
Yeah.
2 of the scariest names in Group B here at DreamHack Masters. You'll be playing them in that lower bracket round 1. Like, that is not a fate anyone of Astralis or Extra Salt will be looking to secure. And so survival in the best of 1. Astralis 4 rounds away from maintaining that upper bracket and playing the winner of Complexity versus Vitality.
That would be an interesting one. Astralis versus Vitality, both with new rosters, would be exciting to see. Definitely lots of Counter-Strike to sink your teeth into over these next, 4 days for the groups, and then we got 3 days next week for the playoffs. Smokes are out. Glaive leading the charge. Fang's being afforded a deagle here, so he's got some kind teammates.
Maybe. No, looks safe. Great straight across, regardless.
Good info play here, setting up OC for success. Zipex needs to be careful.
Yeah, his entire priority here is just to find 1. It's very passive line. JT will research and be found out. The trade of OC. Little disconnected. Marquee very pushed up, but goes down to a long hold from Mages. something. Need a whole lot more, though. OC in lobby. They know where he is. The bomb's above the ladder, or rather below the ladder. Magisk report that dupree's got full access should he desire, and up he goes. A back turn. Nice find. Sonic needs another. Oh, great shots. And now OC's there as well. Extrasol have turned this round on its head, and now absolutely winnable. Bombs on top site. OC in lobby. And OC peeks straight into Bubsky. Big find from the Dane. 3 frags in that round, and he pulls Astralis' 13th right out of the hat.
Yeah, nice round there from Bubsky. Important to pull off a clutch like that for his confidence as well, right? I think that this kid, you were talking about him before in Mad Lions. We've never really get to see his full potential on the Astralis roster. Let's see how far he can really push this one, as now Extrasol will have the full buy. And I still, you know, I still see some omissions in this purchase. They're only working with 2 Molotovs. They have a Famis on Marky, who has looked like their best player so far in this series. And no kit, so this is not going to get any easier for Extrasol here, Alex. I'm very worried about how quick this one may end up.
Let's keep tabs. Will this be another lower finish? Glaive parks himself on red. No smokes for the cross. Fang will be starting to wonder whether or not his input's required elsewhere. Should an opening frag be found towards ramp, towards that top site. Late smokes for the cross. But Fang will immediately be able to respond should there be no one behind them. Lovely little corner diagonal, but Marky flash straight through! That's the spirit! Quick find. Oh, but Fang, you gotta find this one. Nice stabilization. He's got the man advantage now. Extrasol, dig your heels in. A crucial 8th is on the cards here.
All the toes. Got one. Fang's going to come back in, and this looks like they closed this one down. A great recovery there from Extrasol. That's going to be their 8th on the board, and, well, a much-needed round. That was great work. They just simply isolated those fights, took them together, and cleaned it on up.
Marky calling for the flash, or whoever's saying, "I've got you, bro." That was huge. Look at them both doing the flashbang dance. Magisk so quick on the trade, but both of them being there. Fang advancing when he did and finding 2 more frags off the back of that red container. Nice control and conversion. All right, well, that was compulsory. Have you got any more of those? We've got Sonic and OC whipping out the double orb.
Yeah, that's interesting on a map like Nuke, double orb CT side. They're going to have to lock them down. You do not want to lose that lower bomb site through the avenue. The vent, secret, or ramp will make life hard as hell. Just be these rifles here on the T side for Astralis. They don't even really need to pull out an AWP, right? You can just get away with just the 5 AK-47s on a map like this. Smoke's going to get lobbed on out again. This time, is it a bit more of a ruse? Fang's just lost vision. Glaive on his lonesome here, just patrolling and controlling the close yard positions. The rest of his teammates are going back towards ramp, but that's where the second AWP is. Sonic's rotating away. This is the wrong time. They pulled the rotation, but OC's fielded it. I want to come down to the timing here of Astralis. When do they want to pounce?
If these orbs get caught out, bombs down, awkward retake, save. They have to do the damage here. 50 seconds as another incendiary does buy time.
OC's rotated away. There is a window right now that he has to get back into immediately, and he's there in time. Sonic's coming too. This could be huge.
Yeah, and the utility's very indicative. They'll bait them in, perhaps, with a missed shot from Sonic, and he does pull the trigger. OC needs a repeat. By virtue of the flash, he peeks again. Calls it clear. Fang losing his duel outside, though, and that might spur Glaive towards the top side. Yeah, here comes Astralis. Marky readies his aim. Looking to bring the spice and everything nice. JT sprayed out on Hut. 1 for 1. Good find. Marky's getting hunted, though, and Bubsky does open up the site. Magisk Overwatch with another. Bomb can't be denied. It's planted safe. Close quarters. Maybe Sonic can catch one with a quick flick. The sound cue's enough, and it seals his fate. That's 14. Astralis touching distance now.
Oof, that one right there, they just were waiting for whatever information they could get out of Extrasol, right? Like, Fang went down towards yard, but then the information of there was one elbow AWPing, there was one ramp with an AWP as well, just playing off the information delivered to them, and this is an important kill from Glaive there to immediately level things back up into the 4v4. But it's Bubsky again with some more impact. The double kill from him in a round like that, very important with how the trades are going and looking deflated. There is OC as Extrasol. They have no option but just to go down to these pistols. 3 P250s, Deagle in hand, and lobby aggression. Zipex couldn't control it for the second. 1.5 as
Oh
look
my
at them
God.
throwing bodies at Vegas right now, dropping down. More to come.
Yeah, I mean, Marky maybe, like, if he's somehow anticipating a Magis T-spawn hold, I mean...
Look at how grimy this is. Like, he's just tucked into a tight angle at spawn, right? Like, there's frustrating ways to go. This is about to be one for Marky here.
Yeah, he's going to try and do silo, and Magis can just keep it all safe. All safe and sound. As the bomb goes down, no less. Just more extra salt in the wound.
You're just going to go, yep, T-spawn. Like, you're not happy about that one whatsoever.
Spawn. Yeah, he spawned.
But this will be the 15th.
Guarantee?
Say it now. I put the Jason Moses O'Toole 100% guarantee that this is the 15th round on the board for Astralis.
I'd like to see that a bit sooner, Chad. I feel like you really pushed your limits there.
Well, for that, with Jason, you got to pay $400 for a certificate, and he asks you maths questions.
He
so
does, yeah.
It's pretty wild.
Pythagoras theorem. Do you still remember it? Is that the X squared?
I can work it out if we were doing it on sand and we had to work out the length of a bit of pipe or something. Like, I could do it that way. But if you put it in terms of like normal people maths, I can't do it.
But something about the hypotenuse. We're calculating the hypotenuse.
We just sound like idiots. I apologize to anybody who is good with numbers.
Yeah. As soon as the sentence starts with like, you know, they're disguising the maths in like sentences. It's like, oh, you're gross. Stop it.
All right, here it is.
Fang. Big man. Big plan. 13 bullets left as he jukes out with Dupree. Make it 7. Huge advantage for the day. No, not going to be allowed anymore. Dupree punishes on the retreat.
Well, they tried that little maneuver right there, Extra Salt, getting OC up and on top to pick top of Silo. If you guys caught that one on the Reddits the other day. He got nothing for his trouble. He lost a teammate. Now he's lost the space, the L-bend.
Flash, though. Could be a bit of info from Sonic here.
Head of the molly.
Ahead of it.
Oh, dear.
He's completely slipped the net. Dupree does fall. That's a good catch, but they're already into the top site. Oh, and smoke damage found. Magis just with a couple of blind shots. Half Sonic's functional health pool is losing teammates as well. Glaive has got it all covered, and Astralis have too. Dominant, staying in the upper bracket. The first glimpse of Astralis Sans device.